Mark Twain said it best, and you can't improve upon these words really, yeah? He said, never let school get in the way of your education. The reality is this, your education is here to afford you a qualification in Maya to achieve a occupation or a job that will have its place for you underneath your feet to serve you. But it's not designed to make you happy. And it's okay. You don't quit university and go home. It's got its place. What the important thing is that we know what that place is. And this is where people are failing, man. This is where the mental health is coming from. And this is where the confusion and the depression, and there must be something wrong with this coming. We've been sold that this will make you happy. I'm not denouncing your education. What I'm saying is that we should reframe what that means to you in your life. And when you realize that you don't define yourself by your job, then there's something else that you could define yourself by. And I'm really interested in that dark matter, that space you just created. And my preference is to talk about what makes me happy and pursue that. But you can only have that space to look if you're not totally consumed by Maya. Did you get the picture I just drew with my hands, yeah? If Maya is not everything, if your education and your job is not everything, if you don't put that in its place, there's nowhere else to look. There's no room to look anywhere else. And you become even the best at your profession at the very top, and you're wondering what's going on. So I want to reframe what success means, yeah? For me, success is... My friends, my brothers and sisters, it's a real honour and privilege to be here today. I'm really, really grateful that you've invited me, having given up your student time, which is so valuable, to come and sit and learn and share together. It's really important for me to have this opportunity to come here, because it was actually at one of these lectures at a university that my whole life changed, which is why I'm so passionate about coming together in the Sangat. Guru Nanak Bacha explains that the Sangat is the door to God. When the Siddhs asked Guru Nanak Bacha, what does the door to heaven look like? Guru Nanak Bacha would say, Vich Sangat Hara Prabha Varatata. They would say, Vich Sangat, in the Sangat, Hara Prabha Varatata. You can find God in the Sangat. Buddha Shabad Vichar. And when you reflect upon the Shabad, which is what we're going to do today, a little bit together today, you can find that truth. So just be conscious of how you feel. You'll sit in many classrooms and learn many things, but there's nothing quite like sitting in the Sangat, based on my own experience, based on my own evidence that I've had. So really be open, which is why I spoke about asking questions, and really just sort of be open to how this information is different to the information you might learn in other classrooms. For this isn't about education to pass an exam. This education, I'm really passionate about this, is about improving the quality of our lives, about improving how we feel day to day. It's very functional. We're not here to learn Sikhi to pass an exam, that if somebody asks you when did Bhai Amandeep Singh Ji come to this earth, you've got a date for them. That's important too. But the real teachings we're supposed to have, the real experience that we're supposed to conjure, is one that makes our life, the quality of our life, improve. And I think that's really important, right? So we're going to go on a journey today, and I use that word for specifically. We're going to go on a journey today, a journey of discovery, and through the Guru's teaching. So that's me in the Umbro and the Nightcap leg. I put these pictures up because I think it's important to remind myself, I was talking primarily to myself here, that I didn't sort of come into this world with Panch Kakad, I didn't come into this world with a sard on my head. I actually come from a family of pub owners in the East End of London, and my family, you're more likely to find them on security in some of the pubs in Leicester Square, some of the clubs in Leicester Square, than you are going to find them in the Gurukar. Some of my extended family and some of my friends and things like that. But it was when I was at a university lecture that I heard of Guru Ram Das Ji Maharaj, and it was actually at a university that I would stop smiling outwardly and realise that actually there's actually more to life. Put your hands up here if you've been in a social environment where outwardly you've been smiling, you're just like putting on a front that you're actually happy, but inwardly you're actually in a lot of pain, you're feeling a little bit down, and actually you just can't wait to get out of there, but outwardly you're not putting a big smile on. I know half measures here, we're the Sangat of the Guru, let's speak some honest truths, yeah? Let's straighten up these arms, because what you're doing is, when you put your arms halfway, you're telling yourself you're not sure about what you're saying. When you put your arm up straight, you're telling yourself that this is true for me. Hey, Raj, welcome. So at university, it was a bit of Jack the Lad, yeah, recreational drugs, alcohol, I was part of a group of people that had, we had a really good time. We had a really good time outwardly. I remember being in that environment thinking, really? Is this what it's all about? I look around and see other people that were happy, and I think I'm supposed to be happy. But looking back on it now, everyone was probably in a lot of duck, but there was everybody putting on that smile. And I don't think we're here, I don't think we're here to fake through life happiness. When I would meet Jagraj Singh, who's heard of Jagraj Singh before? Okay, so when I met Jagraj Singh, it was a big influence on my life. But he would say to me things like, don't you feel Anand? Because he was so confused. He was in a state of joy because he was living that Jivan. And that really got me thinking that I'm pretending, man, and I don't think we should pretend. And I think just because everybody else is pretending, we should have the courage to challenge that and say, actually, I want to be happy in my life. And when you ask those questions, then those answers can be sought. There's a saying which I've really latched onto, and it really forms a lot of the stuff that I share with people, which is you can only ever hit a target that you're aiming for. Yeah, the genius of those words can be lost in the simplicity, right? You can only ever hit a target you're aiming for. If we don't wake up and actually decide that we're looking for happiness, that we want to actually be happy, we want to stop faking it, we're never going to find it. Unless we're consciously aware that we're not happy in the first instance, right? So firstly, congratulations to all of you for being honest about that, about being sometimes in a not great place, right? And today, one of the topics that I think really dumbfounds people is this topic of money, success. Yeah? And so today's talk is money, success and Sikhi. This is what we're going to be talking about today. And so the question I was asking a couple of you is, what do you think about money? I put an Instagram poll out there on Insta to see what people thought. I'll give you the results in a second. I'll be interested to see what the poll came back as. Actually scratched that, we're online, so I can't do that. Anyone watching online? Hey, welcome. Yeah? And we did a poll to say, look, is money the root of all evil? Is money bad? Who's heard the phrase, money is the root of evil? Yeah? Okay. Put your hands up if you think that money is bad, based on what you've been taught, the experiences you've had, otherwise. Okay? That's cool. Put your hands up if you, why do you, just have interest, why would you say that? Just if you feel comfortable to share.
I just seen I haven't seen, but I've heard that like brothers or sisters or family will just start fighting over money, and it's not even a big deal on your brothers and sisters, and they're fighting over money.
Yeah, who's got a story like that about landing in Punjab? Someone fell out, everyone's got yeah. So based on my little brother's suggestion, who would agree that money's evil then, because it can be the cause of all problems in like families and stuff like that? Anybody agree with this? Okay. Okay, put your hands up if you think that money's not evil, that money's not bad. Okay. So then, to those that have put their hands up and said that money's not evil, yeah, how would you explain? Anyone want to give me like an alternative thesis as to explain this young brother's suggestion? How would you respond to that? If you're saying in the face of what he's saying that money isn't bad, even in that situation where it's causing so much fighting, money's a source of an argument and people splitting up from each other, how would you sort of give a response to that? Right at the back.
Saying that the actual attachment is bad, not the actual money itself. So it's more the mindset of the person who has the money. That's
good, interesting. Anyone else? Yes, you were going to say? You're going to say, why does everybody say that? It's like, if it's a good answer, you know what? I've got a feeling, a lot of the guys that say, I was going to say that, yeah? It was like, that's better than what I was going to say, yeah? But I'll just take that. Is that what you're going to say? I'll believe you, I'm with you. I'm just saying, yeah, on occasion, it might be said that in a seminar, when someone, that's exactly what I was going to say, yeah? You know, throughout the seminar, there's a theme here. Okay, so I'll put it to you this way. Everyone's heard that phrase. I asked you a question, who's heard the phrase, money's the root of all evil, right? I did a bit of research on this to see where it comes from, because I've got my own views based on my own understandings from Sikhi. And the actual quote is a paraphrase, a massively badly paraphrased quote from the Bible. This is where it comes from. And the actual quote stands something like this. It's the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil, and by craving it, some have wandered away from the faith and pierced themselves with many pains. And what do you think the key word is there? If we're going to take my brother's sort of idea that it's the mindset, yeah, what's the key word there that takes away the responsibility from money of itself objectively and makes it subjective? You have to pick one word, yeah. Okay, crave. Yeah, okay, could be. It wasn't one. That's actually correct. There's two words on there that jump out: craving it, and the other one, love. It's the love of money. It's that state of mind when you are just so driven by money that you'll forget your family. Yeah. So it's not money objectively is not bad. I'll put it to you from what I've researched, what I've understood on my experience of life. Right, that money itself is not bad. Money itself is not bad. In fact, money itself, like a sofa, isn't good or bad. It's just a noun, it's just a thing. It's the application of something that, you know, you drop a sofa on someone's head, it's a bad sofa, yeah? If it's underneath your bum, it's a good sofa, yeah? So it depends on the application of something that determines what it is. And it's the same with money. But we hear these incredulous examples of money, and they sort of wrap themselves around our mind, and then you'll sit down with your mates and you know what, money's the root of all evil, because my chacha was arguing with my daya about some land in Punjab, and you know what, the money's the root of all in my house as well, because my next door neighbour died and I'm hearing the same, and then you get that thing and it can just spiral out of control. You hear a few bad examples and that can just sort of convince us, right? Money itself is not good and it is not bad, yeah? Money itself allows you to do with it what your mindset already is. Yeah, I'll give you an example, right? An example that a great saintly scholar would say. There's a great saint. Anybody heard of Baba Jaswant Singh Ji? Son Baba Jaswant Singh Ji? Yeah, they're Don, man. They've done a lot. They've come into this world, and they basically would set up hospitals in India and dentist practices. In the UK we have like NHS, it doesn't seem like a big deal, but you got a tooth pain that will destroy your life. You have done the infections and stuff, it will just eat away at your gums and you'll just die essentially. And he would set up all of these free medical care in India. He's like a massive setup. I went out to go see them many times, and they would give me a lot of blessings, a lot of teachings. And Baba Jaswant Singh Ji would say that money is a little bit like fire. They would give an example of fire, and they would say fire can be used to heat a house. Like gas central heating is essentially a chemical combustion engine, right? And that fire which heats your house, is a sense of much warmth and security and comfort for you and your family, right? But that same fire, if it got out of control, can burn your house down as well. Or the combustion from that fire can produce such a gas, if left unchecked, that carbon monoxide can poison all of you, right? You can put you to sleep and you'll die, right? So we've got, and I found some interesting information. It's the same with all of the elements. If you think of water, water's the stuff of life. We're 80% full of water, but you find yourself outside of the ship in the sea and you'll drown, right? So I think we've got to sort of break this this understanding that money is bad. Because if we have that understanding, I don't think we're going to progress as a people. And I think we have to understand that there isn't that guilt that we sometimes... Who feels guilty about having money when you sometimes think about other people that haven't, yeah? I do sometimes, I'll be honest with you. Yeah, because I think for me personally, I think a part of that is this deeply rooted understandings on these examples that our younger brother gave about money, that it's caused so much bad and this evil and you feel guilty, right? Money isn't bad. Money isn't good, but it allows you to do some great things. And what is it that so then the teaching then comes, how do we make sure we don't get poisoned by the gas from the boiler fire and we just get warmed by it? How do we make sure we get nourished and hydrated by the water without drowning? How do we make sure that money doesn't poison us, that we don't end up in that situation where it becomes the root of evil that springs forth in us? What is it then that causes this evil? Anybody want to give me any ideas? Yo.
It's to educate ourselves and know that money is neutral and that the perception of money is placed on us, and if we apply that neutral value onto money, then that will rid that idea. Okay, so if people are in that situation, the younger brother's situation where there's people fighting over money, or any scenario that you may have known about, right? If someone stopped them in the street and said, just to let you know, money's neutral and it's not good or bad, and will that stop those thieving behaviours of itself? It's just like, that was just like
I'm just pressure testing what you're saying, by the way, because...
So just to educate them that it's not everything, but then again, when people are so desperate for it, that they need it, it's just really complicated.
Right, let me put it to this group, our Sangat together. We're here to learn together in a different way. If we all agree on the examples I gave, fire, water, money, of itself, money's not bad. Can we all agree with that? Yeah? Money's not bad, money's not good, yeah? So then what is it that, there's got to be something else there that's driving people to do these things, right? We should talk about that. That's what we're here to talk about today. What is it that hides behind money, that makes everybody think that money's the culprit, There's something hiding behind money that makes everybody think that money's evil, but nobody sees that thing behind, And that's what we're here to talk about today. And that's the teaching that I want to share with you guys, that you don't get caught out. Because I want to make sure we don't step in that puddle, There's something else. It also begins with M, Mama, What is it? Maya. Maya is the problem, my people. Maya is something else. Now don't get confused, it's a little bit complicated. Money means money. In Punjabi, the word for money is what? Paisa, Another word for money is Maya. Yeah, so don't get confused. There's two meanings for the word Maya. I'm going to be very clear about this. In Punjabi, another word for Maya, another word for money is Maya. So when you go to the Gurdwara, it says, Kirpa karke Maya golak vich pao ji. It's got written, place any Maya that you want, any donations you want in the box. That's not the Maya I'm talking about today. In Gurbani, there's another word, Maya, yeah, which is something that's really important. And we need to have an understanding of that. And that is what Guru Maharaj, Nome Pacha, Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Maharaj has given us so much teachings about, which we're going to just sort of share and learn about today. What is that Maya? Anybody want to give me an idea of what that Maya is? Yo. Maya is an illusion. There's no wrong answers here. We're here to learn and grow. Illusion, anybody else? Yo.
It's a manifestation of the 5 vices.
Manifestation of you can tell we're at top uni. Yeah, no one's coming here to give you anything but poetry. Yeah, the manifestation of the. I'm gonna write that down, bruv. The manifestation of the 5 vices. Yeah, manifestation of the 5. Anybody else? What is Maya? Hello.
Attachment to materialistic things.
Blown away. Attachment to materialistic things. You guys are all scholars here. Fantastic. I congratulate all of you to have this understanding. We can never learn this understanding enough. It's a daily reminder. Yeah, I'm learning from you guys today, and I speak to myself when I say these words. These teachings which we're going to share in the next few minutes are really important. So really switch on for this, because I'm looking to learn from what we're going to share today, and I think it could save us from a whole lot of dukh in this world, right? Maya is everything in this world. Maya is this whole illusion, it's this care, it's this world play, it's the Bajitra Natak that Guru Gobind Singh Ji talks about. It's the Bajitra Natak hai, Chandi Charitra Ustad Barnanang. The one that Maharaj talks about being this great play that Vaheguru has placed us in. Yeah? Maya is everything that's impermanent, everything that's temporary, which also is referred to as everything that is untrue, everything which is a lie. In Gurbani, the understanding of truth and falsehood is different to what we've been taught in the court of law. In a court of law, if someone's lying, it's not true, right? It's about truth and lies. In Gurbani, we talk about truth on a higher level. Isn't about if you're telling the truth, isn't about, we don't lower that word truth in Gurbani. Such, yeah, isn't the same as true in the English language. Such is that which is forever and immovable, unchangeable, will never come to an end. Ad Satcha, everybody together, Ad Satcha, Jugad Satcha, Happy Satcha, Nadaka. That one is the true. Yeah. Beyond that one, everything is Maya. And I say that again. Beyond the one, beyond the Guru, beyond the sect that's merged with the Guru, beyond Vaheguru themselves, everything else is part of the Chakra of Maya. Yeah? And so what that should teach us is to be a little bit alert, to have your guard up and understand that if everything in the world is Maya, there's a risk that we can get caught up with anything. It's Maya in the form of money that we've got to be wary of. Check out what Guru Amardas Ji Maharaj has to say about money. Maharaj says, Maya mamata mohani jin vin danta jag khaya. Manmukh khade gurmukh ubre jini sach naam chitalaya. This is deep, man. This is going back 400 years. Guru Amardas Ji had the answers. Maya is the illusion that traps us. Maya is what stops us from realizing who we really are inside. Maya is what tricks us to look outwardly and not realize that Jyot, that Anand that can exist from within if we just sat down in the company of our own self and vibrated upon the name of God. Sara Japo Ji Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru. My people, Maya exists. Maya does not exist where the Guru Mantra resounds. Sat Sangat kaisi janiye, jithe eko naam vakhaniye. Guru Maharaj explains that how would you know you're in the company of the Sangat when the name of the One resounds? Just out of interest, from a place of honesty and truth, yeah? Who honestly feels that their condition has changed just from reciting the Guru Mantra in this small room together today? Be honest. No way to fake it, no way to lie and put myself at your mercy here. You could be honest. Put your hand straight up so you can tell yourself the answer. There's two people you're telling this to when you put your hand up. Obviously you're responding to my question, right? But you're really telling it to yourself. And that education to yourself as to what the Guru Mantra is different to what you can read in a book. The experience that you experience from doing that. I didn't say put your hands up, I'm joking. Put your hands up genuinely if you feel a condition has improved from reciting the Guru Mantra here today. Maya exists everywhere in this world, insofar as this world is concerned, except for the Guru's Charan, except for the Guru, except for Paramatma, Waheguru, which is what we're trying to get to. And Guru Maharaj explains this Maya Mamta Mohani Jin Vindanta Jag Khaya, without any teeth. That what Maharaj is saying, it's a metaphor. They're saying without any blade, they've snuck into everybody's house and slit their throats. Without any teeth, they've eaten you alive. Because we're so consumed, excuse the pun, but literally consumed as consumers by Maya that we don't even realize that we're being eaten alive. Yeah, as things become more and more easy to obtain, we are less and less happy. As things become more and more accessible, we are less able to access who we really are. And I just think that's, for those that haven't got this education, they're just going to ponder why, and then you hear about such horrible things, people killing themselves or in a state of confusion at the top, right? Let's have some examples of this, right? There are people in this world that are so consumed by Maya that they obtain the most Maya. In other words, they're being eaten alive the most by everyone around them, but they're thinking, yo, I'm, in the Ferrari and Jaguar switching. I'm not going to start singing to you some 80s hip hop, but basically you hear about these people, they've got the most amount of money, Maya, yeah, it means something different now, right? It's just not just money, they've got the most amount of worldly indulgence, right? But they're unhappy, man. An example that I often give, right? And it's always relevant, so I'll give an example that is relevant. I remember coming to university and the franchise that was just kicking around at the time was Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah, who's seen the Pirates of the Caribbean? Johnny Depp. Yeah, forget Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. We're going to go a different way. There's another person in that movie, her name was Keira Knightley. Anybody heard of Keira Knightley? Yeah? So coming into university, she was taking over the box office, she was breaking all the records. I think she still holds the record for the most amount of money taken for a film. I think for a female, I think after Julia Roberts, she just smashed it. And then Keira Knightley came after decades and just took the title. She took £25 million a movie she was making, right? People had her posters on their rooms. She couldn't sign enough contracts for films. And I found out 2 years ago when I was reading about her, I felt so sorry for her. At the height of her fame, she was so depressed that she couldn't find the courage to walk out the front door. For 2 weeks, she stayed at her house for 2 weeks, man. Wow. Like, what does that mean, innit? Like, without an understanding, without this understanding, what would she have given for these teachings to give her understanding that, yo, listen, it's all good. The money's fine, but don't expect your happiness from that, for that's an illusion. If you haven't been told that and you think, yo, I've got everything, so I must be happy, I'm not happy, there must be something wrong with me. And then you start down that path, right? Well, I've got everything that these guys want, they're calling my name, and I'm not anywhere near as happy as I should be based on these people's screams, and then you start questioning who you are, right? Unless the foundation's wrong. But where are we going to get the teachings about the foundation? From the Guru, man. The Guru's here to give us this teaching that, yo, you can have these things in this world, and they can exist and you can be a part of them, but don't be attached. And this is the teaching that Guru Sahib gives us. Maharaj gives us this teaching, and they say what we're supposed to do is this: Jaise jal mein kamal niralam murgaine sane. They say that what a Sikh should be in this world, we can't deny Maya, we're living around Maya, you're standing on it right now, you're sitting on it, in front of you is a desk made of Maya, you're in a university that is afforded to you by Maya, your parents have worked to put a roof over your head, it's Maya, it's this whole illusion, right? And Maharaj says, we're not here to condemn that, we're here to have an understanding of what part it should play for us in our lives. And if we can understand the place for it, it won't consume us, we'll just put it in its place. Like every other person or thing has its place in our life, right? Depending on how important it is. If we haven't had this conversation though, it just washes over you, doesn't it? And you just become part of it, and you end up like Keira Knightley with all the Maya in the world, wondering why you're not happy, because we haven't found a place for it it's found a place for us within its belly because it's been chewing us up. Yeah? And that is what we need to understand. Maharaj is saying to us, "Bhi jaise jal mein kamal niralum, murgai ne sane." They're giving the example of a lotus flower. Now, the lotus flower is really beautiful and it comes up a lot in Sikhi, right? And the lotus flower lives in swamps. Swamps is like dirty, stagnant water that you wouldn't drink from. It's poisonous, right? But the lotus flower is beautiful nonetheless. Its beauty is not diminished regardless of the swamp that it resides within, irrespective of the Maya, this world of this sea of Maya. So the lotus flower is ever facing towards the sun. Because I don't care about Maya. Maya is not going to drown me. When the waves come, the lotus flower, it just finds its way upon the surface. Every time it rides the wave, it rolls the punches. And in this way, the lotus flower never succumbs to the Maya. Where does it rest? What stomps it? It takes the support of Maya in its electricity, in its home heating, in the home that it lives in, and salary that it draws, and all of the wonderful pound notes you guys are going to earn. You know, it draws from Maya, yeah, but it doesn't succumb to Maya. In fact, Maya's beneath its feet, if it had feet. If the lotus flower had feet, right? Maya's beneath its feet. It doesn't worship Maya because it's always facing the Suraj. Yeah? It's always ever growing towards the Suraj. And I just think the lotus flower is such a beautiful example to who we should be. Money's not bad. This place is an illusion, just a quick recap. Yeah? And if we understand that, we'll find a place for this world in our heart. We won't be consumed by it. And then we can use this world for what we need to, and we can smash what we've got to do. We're going to come on to that in a little bit. Money's not bad. Maya is an illusion. It's just false. Everything around us is false. Insofar as we consume ourselves in this world, no matter which place in this mountain we reach, we can reach the pinnacle at Pirates of the Caribbean, we're still going to be in a place of consumption and a complete desperation because that place is false. Yeah? And the purpose of what we've got to do is go through this journey, not be consumed by Maya. And everybody with me so far? Yeah? Is what we're saying, is it vibrant? Is it making sense? Are you complete? Anybody got any questions about what I'm talking about? Anybody confused about this concept of Maya, this illusion? Yeah? So we've got to come into this world and understand this thing, that if we have an understanding of Maya, that we can put it in its place. And I'm repeating this on purpose, yeah? Put Maya in its place. If you have a place for Maya in your life and this world, up again in Sikhi Torda, when we're talking to each other and we're doing Sangat, right? It's really interesting, it's really beautiful. So when you're doing Sangat, someone said something to me, and it wasn't the point we were supposed to focus on, but it was ancillary, but it stayed in my mind. So there was Sangat, we were doing vichar about consciousness and Simran and God, right? And so this person, she wanted to become a lawyer. So she puts her hand up and she says, "Can I ask you a sansari question?" Yeah? Because and I was like, it was quite an interesting thing. It stayed in my mind. I couldn't quite understand why it stayed in my mind. Because in the Sangat, Maya doesn't exist. And so talking about in the world that ain't going to help you achieve your jivan doesn't exist. So in her mind, she felt the need to ask for permission to talk about a question of the world. And I think that's such a wonderful example subconsciously of what it means to be in the Sangat. She wanted to know about which law firm to go to. She wanted to ask me a question about legal career, whatever, right? That was my background. I've been in legals for a number of years. But she goes, "Can I ask you a sansari quick?" Because in her mind, subconsciously, for Maya to come into this conversation, we needed permission. And that is when you know you're in Sangat. Because everywhere else in the world, my friends, nobody needs expressions, nobody needs permissions to talk about Maya, because that's all that there ever is. How's work? How's your family? You got a pay rise? What's going on? You got Spotify or Deezer? Have you watched this on Netflix? I ain't got Netflix, I got Apple TV. It's all Maya. No one needs any permission. But in the Sangat of Guru Nanak, if you're going to ask someone about your law progression, you have to say, "Can I ask you a sansari question?" That's when you know that Sangat is something different, apart from your own experience, which is the most important thing. And we just had our own answers to that when we recited in the Guru Mantra, right? So Guru Maharaj is saying, find your place for Maya in this world. And if you find a place for Maya, it won't enslave you. There's a Sakhi I want to share with you, a story from Sikh history. We have two tools, my friends, to smash Maya when it comes your way. Two tools. One is Gurbani, which is wicked, man. Gurbani just does it. It just makes things so clear. Guru Amardas Ji Maharaj gives us some direct teachings for our hearts, right? and we have itihas. These are the two tools that you can have. These are the two guns if you're in a Western. Yeah, these are your median bidi. Yeah, you ever have an issue in your life, you got doubt, you got dubda, you go back to Gurbani, you go back to itihas. Boom, nothing will stand in your way. No Maya will stand up to itihas. No Maya will stand up to Gurbani. It's big, innit? We understand where these things reside and what they can do for us. Then we understand them differently, right? Now Gurbani feels a little bit different, isn't it? It's like, yo, this is illusion of Maya that's going to attack me and eat me alive. Literally, yeah, it says Guru Amardas Ji Maharaj, yeah. And what we're saying now is the tool to put Maya in its place, yeah, that is beneath your feet or beneath your roots, yeah, is Gurbani and Itihas. Itihas is the Guru's teachings through their actions. Everybody say Gurbani.
Gurbani.
Itihas. Gurbani. Itihas. So weapons. So these are your two weapons, yeah, that you have in your hearts. Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji Maharaj, one time they were going through the forest, and then can you imagine Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji, 6'6", just a quick deportation, 6'6", twice as wide as the average man, yeah. They're the form of iron inside, yeah. They recite the Bani of Guru Nanak, yeah. They're a complete warrior and a complete form of God, right? And they're with the forge and they're going through the forest. Baba Bidhi Chand is with them as well. And all the Singhs are there with Maharaj. They're going through a forest and the Singhs have gone forward. They're coming back saying, Maharaj, there's a huge snake on this path coming this way. We recommend that we depart and we go another way because this is a dangerous animal. We don't want to go up against this snake. Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji, they laugh. They go, the snakes who I've come to see. Because this Maya, is this care is not, Maharaj knows this care. They're here to fix that, to help those that want to escape the care. Right, as you'll hear, right? So this snake comes forward and all the things like, look at this huge snake. The snake comes right up to Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji Maharaj, and in our itihas, in our history, the snake puts its head upon the feet of Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji Maharaj. Yeah, and in that moment, as it rests its head upon the charan of the Guru, as they come into the sharan of the Guru, the sanctuary of the Guru, the snake's body splits open and you can see thousands and thousands of Keira, insects eating away, flesh-eating insects eating away at these snakes. You can Google images of these snakes. This was written in our history by, this is written in our history if you read the Tika of Jaswant Singh Ji, but you can Google these pictures yourself. You can Google flesh-eating insects and snakes, and even to this day you'll find snakes that are being eaten alive because of an infection, because of something they've done in Maya. But anyway, so the snake's jaw comes out, right? And it's a jaw of this fake sant, fake Baba, yeah? This Baba comes out, yeah? And he goes, look, Maharaj, look, forgive me, man. Like this is, he speaks to Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji. Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji says, speak to my Sikh. Yeah, they give the status to Baba Bidhi Chand and goes, do enar vichar karo. And Baba Bidhi Chand goes, what happened to you? Why have you been eaten alive by Sikhs? He goes, in my previous life, I was a fake Baba. Yeah, and what would happen is people would come to me and they would say, look, can you bless me that I can get to the heavens? And I would take all their money. And I would take all their Maya. I was so engrossed in Maya that I just didn't care. I'd lost myself. And so the throngs of Maya took such a hold on me that I was lost to those temptations, and I would take everyone's wealth. And I would go to the house, I would eat their delicious food under these premises that I'm a sant, that I'm a fake Baba, that I'm a Baba, sorry, right? And so people would feed me and they would treat me this way, yeah? And so I've taken all that. And so because I was so consumed by Maya, when I died, I was thinking obviously of all this Maya. Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj tells us that that when you, in the end, if you're thinking about Maya when you die, you have to come back as a snake. That's the life form. Guru Maharaj actually talks about the different jivans. If you're thinking about different things, what happens? I won't tell you about the others because it will distract us right now. But suffice to say that if you're thinking about money and Maya and like this illusion that you're so attached to when you die, specifically like money and wealth, you have to be born back as a snake. He goes, so because of that, I've had to come back in this jivan as a snake. Why a snake? Because a snake lives for such a long time on his belly. It's a really painful life form. The sun is beating down on the back of it. Literally, you're growing poison from within your own body, yeah? And inside the snake were all the jelle. All of those that gave up their ignorance, that gave up their right to speak the truth and to follow the path of truth. And they sold themselves into this falsehood, right? Perhaps we can say subconsciously or willingly, who knows, yeah? So they were, just as the fake Baba was eating from them in their previous life, now they are eating him. That retribution is being taking place, that justice, that dharma is being taking place. And so the snake's been eaten alive by those who he had eaten from during the course of their life, right? And so this is what's happening before Baba Bidijan, and they're speaking to the Sikh, and they're saying, look, this is what has happened to me, and the halat is there, right? You could do your own cause and hear the rest of that itihas. The point I want to share with you is that this is the reality of what happens if we become consumed by Maya. We can look at that Baba or any other Baba, and we look at that person and we can be like, oh, he's in a bad way. But let's look at it from our own perspectives, our own jiva, our own growth, yeah? If we just take a little chance to reflect, where are we? How are we doing by our own standards? How much are we consumed, yeah? In our own sort of arena, our own battlefield. And I think that's a real helpful way of looking at it. Rather than looking at that guy and pointing fingers, yeah? We should just have a little look at what's around the corner for me. Next year I graduate, I'm going to be walking to 80 grand a year. What plans have I got? Is it just a new car? Is it just a down payment on a mortgage? Yeah? Am I going to get into that thing? Am I going to recreate the same problems of my parents and my jatjataya? Or am I going to put Maya in its place? Will Maya just serve me as I become this lotus flower that is under the auspices of the Guru, and in this way I'll never become that snake. Now I'm not saying you're going to become a fake Baba, but in your own arena of your own lives. So Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji gives us this teaching. I like to think of things slightly differently, right? I've been very fortunate. I hope, Maharaj, I'm not speaking of ego when I say this. Yeah, I graduated from law school, went on to get a training contract, graduated, qualified as a lawyer, had a really successful legal career. You know, Maharaj was very kind to me, and Maharaj, please forgive me if I speak out of turn. We were very successful in the world by the graces of Sadhguru Maharaj. My office was next to the Guru Garh, so I'd go there every day, and we very successful in the practice. It allowed me to do other things, and then we built a property portfolio, and we began construction. My brothers over there. We've had a really blessed journey to succeed in those things, yeah. But I'll be deeply honest with you. What I'm going to say to you right now, I'm not here to lie. Those business successes of, you know, if I look back, if I could have said to myself 15 years ago, this is where you'd be, you know, I'd rip my arm off to be where I am right now. I would never have guessed that we could have been so grateful to be achieving that. But if I'm honest with you, none of the bliss that I've felt on that journey, those great milestones, have compared to the glimpses of bliss that I've felt when we've been in the Sangat and it's switched on. And I've experienced a little bit of Anand. The Maharaj has been a bit kind. They may have maybe given me a little glimmer of what it's like for the saints that actually live in that place where they're completely detached. None of those experiences have compared to the bliss of what it has felt to do kirtan and hear those things. Not every day, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to put you in a place of false, I'll be honest with you. But on those few glimpses, they've been enough to send me that this is where I want to be. And why I share that with you, I think it's really important, because when you're, I think I've got a responsibility to my younger brothers and sisters that if you're looking for happiness just in financial success or career success, when you get that and you don't have it, you're going to feel a lot of depression, a lot of sadness, unless you realise, yo, that's only got its place for me. And that's what we're here to talk about today. That these things are important. Become the best man, become the best lawyer you're going to be. Have cases written after you that you were so successful in chasing your career. You know, be the best, but don't let that be what you're living for. That's not our purpose in life. That of itself is not a purpose. Maharaj makes it plainly clear to us. They say to us, the purpose of life is to become one with who you really are inside, to meet the Sangat, to recite the name of God, to feel that Anand and have it part of your day-to-day life, that you feel Anand every day, that you have supreme bliss. No job contract is going to say Anand on it. The word Anand to this day has never featured on any employment contract that you're going to be offered. Everybody say Anand. Anand. Anand is what we're looking for, right? And where do we get Anand? Guru Maharaj explains to us, Anand, Anand sabko kehe, Anand Guru te janiya. Anand, everybody's talking about Anand, everyone's talking about this bliss, right? Where are we going to get it? We go to Guru Amardas Ji again. Yeah, they always line it up for us. Yeah, they say Anand, Anand sabko kehe, Anand Guru te jan. You want Anand, yeah? You're only going to get it from the Guru. The Guru does it in many ways. I can't explain to you, but I can give you two examples right now. For one, they tell you your place in the world, and they give you an understanding that those at the top of the financial world don't know, and they're suffering for it, man. There's a whole lot of pain out there. Robbie Williams, man. You know, made us all laugh for many years, and he committed suicide because obviously in all of that fame and all that fortune, he didn't find that there was a place for that Maya, and it consumed him, right? To the point where he was so consumed by the illusion, he saw it as a reality, and he's no longer with us, right? So just a quick recap, because we're going deep down the rabbit hole. We want to make sure we can find a way back. Yeah, money's not bad. Money is neutral. Money can serve for good or bad things depending on where you're at, your mindset. Yeah, Maya is what we've got to look out for, man. Maya is this illusion. Maya, this illusion that will eat is alive, as Guru Maharaj explains to us. In fact, it's already eaten the world alive. Yeah, and we don't even know about it. The only people that have been saved from Maya are the Gurmukhs, because the Gurmukhs have been given the blessings of the teachings. But yo, listen, my children, watch out for Maya. Don't be consumed by it, but let it have its place. Where will you find its place? You'll find its place beneath you. Yeah, let it support you from beneath, but don't look to it. Look upwards to something beyond Maya. And in this way, you'll realize that this world is false, and that which is true is beyond this world. Yeah, we spoke about Guru Hargobind Singh Ji and how those who are falsely attached to Maya become so tempted that they can become so imbued with Maya and so consumed by Maya that even after this life they're paying the debts of these deeds, of these days, right? We don't want to be ending up there. So let's talk about something else. So we spoke about money in the context of Maya. Everybody with me so far? We can box that away, yeah? So this is in two parts. So we've spoken about Maya. Maya's not going to be, we're going to watch out for Maya. Put your hands up, we're going to watch out for Maya now, this illusion, yeah? As you go into this world and someone goes, I'm going to sell you your dreams. You go, whoa, listen, nobody can sell me the dreams. Only Guru Maharaj can give me the Anand. You've got a place in my life, yeah? I've got a responsibility to my wife and my children and my family, but that's a place that I've got for them. In reality, this is all just a care, isn't it? And I've got to look beyond this care to find that Anand. Everybody with me so far, yeah? So I want to talk about something else then. That was a bit of a warning, a bit of a sort of cautionary tale, yeah? A true tale, I might add. Let's talk about success, man, because I like talking about how you guys are going to be so successful, yeah? And I'm just so excited about hearing your stories when I meet you in future years, yeah, that you can tell me about your success. Tell me what success means, man. What does success mean?
Just achieving peace and happiness in life.
Okay, you're cheating. You've been a part of this lecture. Success is like becoming a lawyer, right? Isn't success being a lawyer?
It can be. That's what you want.
What's success?
I have to go with the idea that it's not just about the financial aspect.
What is success? Don't tell me what it isn't. Tell me what it is. Yo.
Achieving your dreams, whatever that could be. That could be materialistic.
A lot of people got their dreams, bruv. Keira Knightley got her dreams, bruv.
No, but like, she always...
I'm teasing you guys, yeah. What's success?
Achieving your goals.
Okay.
Different for everyone, but getting lots of money.
Okay.
It's a feeling, so I say it's like happiness.
Okay. All right. Good. What makes you happy? What makes you really happy? I'll stop there. What makes you super happy? What makes you over the moon, bliss, amazing?
Or being with my mates.
What makes you super happy? What makes you really happy? Okay, stop there. Yep. What makes you happy? You. Yes. Super Anand, you're crying tears of joy.
Being around people I love.
Okay. Yep.
Being in the Guru's Darbar. I was at boss camp, it changed my life.
Okay, really interesting, right? So I'm a lawyer, I'm going to be focusing more on your words and your language, yeah? Before you told me what made you happy, went, And that to me indicates that there's a hesitation and you're responding with what you think the answer should be. And there's nothing wrong with that, because we think and then we answer a question. Hopefully we think before we answer a question, right? But what it tells me is that there isn't a deep-rooted, conscious, considered idea before we've sat here today, as we wake up every day, what makes me happy? What am I going to drive for? It's really bizarre. We speak about happiness, right? And so we don't talk about happiness in the context of success. We talk about success if you pass your exams. If I say to you success, you go, it means I've passed. So if you message your mum success, she go, what did you get? What did you get? Right? So I succeeded. What did you do? I passed, yeah? But it's bizarre. We've been through 23 years of education and you guys are the pinnacle. You guys, congratulations to you. You've gone through the education in such a way that the top institutions of of London, which is the centre of the world in terms of knowledge, in the past it has been, and certainly today, we've got the best education institution in the world, some might say, right? And yet none of us have sat down on any module and spoke about what makes us happy. Isn't that bizarre? Like at no point have you sat down in any of your classes from infant school to junior school to senior school to A-levels to your degree, yeah? Up until, and none of you, has anybody done a class on what makes you deeply happy? That strikes a little bit odd. It's a little bit Truman Show. What's that? The witch in the Marvel. What? The Scarlet Witch. Isn't that a bit Scarlet Witchy? Like, what's going on? Isn't it bizarre? Put your hands up in the context of this question being framed. Isn't it a bit bizarre that you've gone through social education at school, pastorship, when you've got an issue, you go to the matron or whatever it is at school. No, at no point have you in your course of your education thought about or been taught or told to question or sent home with a homework assignment about what makes you happy. Put your hands up if you think that's bizarre. It is bizarre, isn't it? It's like a bit Twilight Zone-y, right? My people, it's time we have a realization. Mark Twain said it best, and you can't improve upon these words really, yeah? He said, never let school get in the way of your education. Because your education evidently isn't here to make you happy. It's here to serve a different purpose, and that's got a good purpose as well. It's salary for central heating and a car and a house, which you all need. But don't rely on it for happiness, right? And the things that your education is going to afford you then are only going to be for that purpose. They're not going to make you happy. And this is the important thing about success. I want to reframe what success is. I was told by my family, you become a lawyer, you're success. Even today, my dad puts his arm around me. He's got a pint in one hand and put his arm around me. Go, you're a success. You've done good. Yeah. And I go, have I? You know, because I've not had any happiness from that. My real happiness has come from the things that the Maya that I've earned in that context, money in this Maya context, has allowed me to do in Sikhi Dorte. That's the stuff that really gets me going. That's really lit me up, which is why I'm here with you today, right? I could have lectured you about anything. I've got reported cases in the law reports, man. You want to hear about those? No. Yeah? The reality is this, your education is here to afford you a qualification in Maya to achieve a occupation or a job that will have its place for you underneath your feet to serve you. But it's not designed to make you happy. And it's okay. That's still okay. You don't quit university and go home and say, I'm not going to... It's got its place. But what the important thing is that we know what that place is. And this is where people are failing, man. This is where the mental health is coming from. And this is where the confusion and the depression, and there must be something wrong with this coming. We've been sold that this will make you happy. We've been told, and even we have, as we've made the applications, as we've got those results, who got their results and thought this was the best day of their life when you got accepted to university? Be honest. It was one of the best days of at that point. It was one of the best days. I phoned my dad. I was the first one in my family to go to university. You got Jagraj, because you've already succeeded. You got further than anybody else in my family. Yeah. And now, how stressed are you at the same university that you died, that you cried to get into, that you daydreamed about getting into? You had nightmares about being rejected from, right? So let's be clear about this. I'm not denouncing your education. What I'm saying is that we should reframe what that means to you in your life. And when you realize that you don't define yourself by your job, then there's something else that you can define yourself by. And I'm really interested in that dark matter, that space we've just created. Because when we go up to each other, we say, my name's Simran, I'm doing law. And that's fine, that's what I did as well. We all do that, right? Or even today, they go, what'd you do? They meet you, they go, what'd you do? I go, I'm a lawyer. You know, but that's not who we are, man, because that doesn't make me happy. And my preference is to talk about what makes me happy and pursue that. Everybody with me so far? Have I lost anybody? So I'm going to just double down on that again before we move on, right? Your education is not designed to make you happy. It's designed to allow you to pursue a career which has its place in Maya, a small part in Maya. But if you've not got this knowledge, it will be your whole world. And when it doesn't make you happy, which is not supposed to, but when it doesn't make you happy, then that's where the suffering comes from. Because you're like, yo, I've got this thing, I'm supposed to be happy, I'm not. Yeah? And then we start to suffer. Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj says it so beautifully. They say, Sarab Sukha Main Pa Liya, Har Jai Vadna Koi. They say, Guru Arjan Dev Ji is like talking to their son, yeah, to their daughter. They say, listen, my child, be Sarab Sukha Main Pa Liya. I've had every part of sukh in this world, every ounce of this world's dunya that you can achieve and receive and experience. Sarab Sukha, all the sukh of this world, Main Pa Liya. I've experienced all of it, I have all of it. It's within my joli to give and to have and receive, yeah? But none of that compares to the sukh that you will feel if you're in the Sangat of the Guru, man. And that is my experience too. I'm not a sant. I'm not a fake Baba, yeah. I'm not any Baba, yeah. But I can tell you from my experience, and I'm just being honest with you guys right now, the experience I've had at one of these lectures that changed my life, and I would cry tears of joy when I heard the Kirtan for the first time. Going to Boss Camp and meeting the Singhs. I don't know if Boss Camp is on there right now, sometimes they join. Yeah, meeting some of the Singhs at Boss Camp. Meeting the Sangat, yeah, that I met in the Guru Card at those times when I was your age, yeah, only a couple of years ago. When I would meet those people, they would still be the most important people in my life today, yeah? And that is where Sukh comes from. But you can only have that space to look if you're not totally consumed by Maya. Did you get the picture I just drew with my hands, yeah? If Maya is not everything, if your education and your job is not everything, if you don't put that in its place, there's nowhere else to look. There's no room to look anywhere else. And you become even the best at your profession, Keira Knightley, Pirates of the Caribbean, at the very top, and you're wondering what's going on. Yeah? So I want to reframe what success means, yeah? For me, I want to give you a different thing to what you guys think. For me, success is complete joy, man. Being completely in a state of Anand. Can anybody, just out of interest, I'll be really happy to hear, can anybody improve on that? Can anybody give me something, any alternative? Success for me, yeah, would be in complete Anand. To be in a state of complete joy.
Can I add at all times?
What the heck, not yesterday. Love you. Yeah? Yeah, to be in a state of complete Anand, right? And that, if we're aiming for that, we can achieve it. Only if we're aiming for that. If we're only aiming to achieve things in this world, we'll achieve those things and there won't be Anand, man. And I don't wish that on any of you, man. I don't want you scratching your heads and smiling at me in 5 years' time saying, Singh, how you doing? Great. How about you? I'm great, man. But you're just dying inside, man. We should be aiming for that, man. We have a right. If we don't have a right to inherit the Guru Sikhi and the Anand that the Guru is here to give, then for whom has it come to this earth? I'll put that out to you again. If Guru Maharaj is Anand, and they are in Anand, and the Guru speaks of that, the Sikh, when the Sikh truly becomes one with the Guru, they cry tears. Guru Ramdas Ji would cry so many tears of joy at the thought of Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, that their beard was constantly soaked in Anand, man. Just speaking of that sends the hairs on my arm on end. Look at the smiles on some of your faces. Just talking of Guru Arjan Dev Ji's Anand is enough to give you Anand. What would it be, man, if it was on our agenda? Be straight. If you're honest with yourselves, you can make a correction. If we lie to ourselves, we can't. Be honest, yeah? Is it fair to say, before we came here today, none of us are consciously looking for Anand? Be honest. Before we came here today, we might be, is it fair to say, let's be honest. It has to hurt our ego a little bit, yeah? We're looking to part. Is it fair? Put your hands straight up. When you tell your arms to be straight, you're being conscious about this. Is it fair to say, as we're wandering through our days, none of us, it's really interesting, yeah? Nobody here today is looking for Anand. How are we going to find it, man, if we're not looking for it? Well, how are we going to find it if we're not looking for it? And who wants Anand? Who put your hands up if you want Anand? Everybody say Ananda. Say Ananda. Ananda. My people, if we don't look for something, we're never going to find it. It has to be on the agenda, right? Put your hands up sincerely if you have a conviction that you're going to pass this year's exams and it's been on your mind and you are going to pass these exams this year. That it's even on your agenda, that you've had a thought about these exams, you want to pass the exams, right? So, if that's on our agenda, we'll study for that, right? We have to commit ourselves to our happiness, man. Happiness doesn't come of itself. Like all beautiful things in this world, without struggle, there is no progress towards those goals, man. And why would it be any less for the most beautiful of things, the most valuable of things, right? And I think that success is when we are in Anand, when we have achieved such oneness with who we really are inside, that every day is Anand. You know who was in Anand? Bhai Amandeep Singh Ji. Bhai Amandeep Singh Ji was in so much Anand, yeah, when they were being told to convert to Islam. Yeah, they were in so much Anand, they were given a last request. Bhai Amandeep Singh Ji is at Chandni Chowk with Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Maharaj in 1675. Bhai Amandeep Singh Ji has been told, we're going to cut you in half with a saw if you don't give up your dharam and become a Muslim. They said, they said to Bhai Amandeep Singh Ji, here's a saw. The saw was so big, it took two men to operate it. One would be at the front of Bhai Amandeep Singh Ji, and one would be at the back, and they would draw the sword backwards and forwards. They placed the saw upon the head of Bhai Amandeep Singh Ji, And they say to Bhai Amandeep Singh Ji, what's your last request? They were in so much Anand, yeah? I've only got one request. They go, what's that? He goes, this frame that I'm tied in, I can't see my Guru. Just tilt this frame, pivot upon its place, that I can look upon my Guru, that as his soul goes through me, that I can look upon my Guru, man. They were in Anand, Hana? And as the soul would go through their body, they would recite Japji Sahib, man, because they drew Anand from that Shabad. I go back to Jagraj Singh, his words will ring slightly differently now. He would say to me, Amandeep Singh, you don't feel Anand when you do Anand Sahib the part? Because he was drawing Anand from that. But what I take from that is not where he was and where I wasn't, but you can. And that's the point, my people. If we understand that you can draw Anand from Anand Sahib, which is what Jagraj was speaking about, yeah? That through Sikhi, through Gurbani, through Itihas, you can have Anand. And I've had those glimpses to share with you today. Humble glimpses, I might add. But glimpses nonetheless that have led me here today, right? That if you can experience that Anand, then let's start looking for it, man. Who's ever cried tears of joy? I have, man. I've cried tears of joy, man. I have, man. There's nothing like it, man. It's like jolts of electricity going through your body, and you just feel total Anand. And you could only experience that from the Guru, man. No case, no class will teach you that. No degree will give you that. No family member, no love of your life. Nothing will compare to that. Everything else is just secondary. It's just in that Maya. And now Maya, we were speaking about success and Anand. Now we really put it in its place. Before it was just theory. Now we really don't want nothing to do with Maya. You see, when you run away from something, you'll get a certain distance. When you run into something, you'll put many things behind you. Yeah, now Maya's got nothing in our minds right now. Who wants a bit of Maya right now? Yeah, put your hands up if you can feel, see, this is the point. When we spoke about Sangat being a place where Maya doesn't exist right now, like in your conscious own selves, be honest with yourselves right now. Is it fair to say where you are right now in your own place, yeah? We're not Bhagats, we're not Mahapuruk, we're just Sikhs on our journey, we're students on our journey. Is it fair to say right now that Maya is pretty far from us right now? Put your hands up if you feel that. In this moment right now, let me ask you an honest question, I'm going to just put this out there, right? If I gave you £500 right now, but just be completely honest, yeah? If I said to you, I'll give you £500 right now, but you couldn't be here, you had to be somewhere else right now, and you'd have to be feeling whatever you'd be feeling in that place right now, would you take it? Would anybody take £500 right now to be somewhere else? Be honest. There must be some entrepreneur that will start Tesla with that. Yeah?
With the reverse then instead.
Huh?
I take a flight to the reverse then.
Okay, she trades this place with the reverse, I'll take that. Right, how about £1,000? If I said to you, here's £1,000, but you can't be here, you've got to be somewhere else, and you've got to feel how you'd feel in that place. Any place. Like, isn't like football, like, not Sikhi Dorte, not Darbar Sahib or something. How about £5,000? You could do a lot with that right now, man. A lot of student debts, bruvs. How about £10,000? For £10,000 you'd be somewhere, yeah? I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate. For £10,000, any other takers for £10,000 to be somewhere else? 2, 3. It ain't really about the numbers. The point I'm making is, you're thinking about £10,000.
Yeah.
I can't think of many places I'll trade £10,000 for, but the Guru Sangat, you're your own witness, right? This is my point. We're here to experience. These words are going to start making sense now. At the beginning I said Sikhi is about that experience, right? Most of you, all of you except 3 of you, were with me till £10,000. And even the 3 who are at £10,000 are a bit hesitant. Well, is it to have £10,000? I'm having a good time right now, right? My point is this. Where are you going to experience anything that you can compare to those numbers? £10,000 is a year's tuition, by the way. If you come back into Maya, bring Maya back into the room. Actually, forget Maya. Stay outside. Yeah? When you're in the Guru Sangat, right, and you Guru Sahib Sikhi, you hear about these Gurmukhs that walk in the path, you feel Anand, and you can't help but smile. But why let that smile finish in your room here today if you take the teaching that I want to be success? For me, success is being in a state of Anand, man. Everybody say Anand. Say Vaheguru. 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 It's yours to take, mate. It's yours to take, my people, man. It's yours. If it's not, if I put it in the reverse, if it's not yours to inherit as we sit before the Guru Sangat and in the midst of the Guru Sangat, to whom are these teachings to be bestowed? Yeah? If you just overcome whatever it is that you need to find a little bit of time to seek out Anand, man. If you seek Anand in your life, then you might experience that, right? For me, success is passing your exams, becoming whatever you need to be, whatever you want to be to satisfy whatever it is you need to do in this world. But understanding that that's going to play a part and using that part to project you to where you're going to find Anand. And that's sort of, I've fallen off the wayside a few times. I've had a few bad days, a few bad months. Some might say a few bad years. Yeah, I think that's pretty fair to say. As I lost the Sangat, as I got so caught up in my job, as I became so hooked on Maya, thinking this is what success is. And those have been the darkest years of my life, I might add. So why I share this with you is this. I went to boss camp, found out about Sikhi. I was like, wow. Then I lost my way, man. And I came out of the Sangat. And I just thought it was about becoming just getting a job and making loads of money. Yeah, and I was very fortunate to be successful in that endeavour. But in that endeavour, I lost my way, and those were the worst years of my life, man. It was only when I met Singhs again, and they smiled upon me, and they gave me a little tappar, they gave me a love, they gave me their hug, they gave me their embrace. I would cry those tears of love once again. I realised actually this is my home, like a dog that's lost his way and he finds his way home. You hear these good news stories, right? I'm just that dog, man, as I stand before you today. But I want you to be successful, man. Okay, Amandeep, we spoke about the theory. As we come to the end of this vichar together, this little bit of time together, let's make it crunch. How do we make it successful then, man? Because it's not just a button you press, yeah? What do we do? I found this quote, right? And it directly correlates to what Guru Maharaj is saying. Maharaj is saying to us, Bijin seviyatin payaman. Giani Kulwant Singh Ji and Professor Sahib Singh, interestingly, they both translate this pankti differently. They put sevya. One says seva to mean to do seva, to help people, and the other says to do bhajan. In either way, in either context, it means to basically serve, right? To serve yourself through Simran or to serve the creation, man. That if you want that man, if you want to have that honor within yourself, and honor doesn't just mean a badge that you can say, I've done this seva. Honor means that you can look in the mirror and say, I'm making progress. That is where we want to be, man. Where you want to be tomorrow is to say, I'm making progress from today. We're going to come on to that. I'm going to leave you with a party bag, something I'm really excited about, something which you can take away. I haven't got 15 party bags lined up here, but it's a metaphor. We're going to share something today. Take it with you, my people, man. I want you to experience this, Anand. Yeah? It's through seva. Guru Maharaj explains this to us, that this is what's going to make us happy. Guru Maharaj is saying to us that everything in this world is false. The only thing we're really going to experience this bliss is through coming to the Guru's charan. And I'm going to give you an example right now, worldly examples, right? Bill Gates, yeah? My student job when I was at university was on Tottenham Court Road. I would sell laptops, and I was selling Micro and Vika right outside Tottenham Court Road station. I was there, and I sell like Macs on a Saturday and Sunday. I get like 35 quid after tax. Pathetic, yeah. But then, to be fair, a Happy Meal was £2.88. But anyway, I won't talk to you about that, yeah. And Bill Gates was, our company's making like £15 million a year, and they were buying from Bill Gates. Everyone was buying. Bill Gates has made billions, right? Billions and billions of pounds. And in his own chords, in his own time he's spent, he's realised, and you can read about him, it's really interesting, he's actually realised that the true happiness hasn't come from making all that money, it's actually through giving it away. And Bill Gates has actually decided that during the course of his lifetime, he's going to give most of his money away. That's billions and billions of pounds. And he's getting more Anand from that. But here's the interesting thing, right? The more money Bill Gates has given away, when you give, money has its own energy. And you'll experience that when you do business. It has its own vibration. It'll keep you up at night sometimes if you get too trapped in Maya, right? And money has its own energy. And when you like the conservation of energy, when you give energy, it'll come back in a different way, yeah? Like if you burn something, that the energy stored in that wood will get translated into heat and sound. What else will it get translated to? Heat and sound, right? Yeah? And light, yeah? Money has its own energy, and when you give it, it translates itself into a different energy. And you can actually receive far more gifts back of the same energy with far more value to you. And it's really interesting. The more money that Bill Gates has given away, he just can't stop it coming. And he's far richer for having given all of his billions away. And there are so many examples of billionaires that are now realizing that actually part of the success path through becoming successful is to give away. Now you're thinking, how does this relate to me? I'm a student, man. I'm just about making things ends meet, right? So there's something really interesting. They said if you have no money if you're really destitute in your life, right? There's a great scholar called Giani Kulwant Singh Ji, and they say the best way, if you want something in your life really badly, the best way to get that thing in your life is to give it away. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense to me. But we're looking at it in a Western understanding of physics and a Western understanding of maths. So in a consumerist ideal, yeah, we're all in Costco and there's one bottle there. The way to amass that is to smack the other guy out the way and take that bottle. We've been taught as a capitalist society there's a finite amount of something, and the way you can obtain that finite thing is to take it before somebody else does. But it's just not true. It's just, and I use that word purposefully to break our minds. You're not in competition with somebody else. And let me explain to you why. Really stay with me for the next few minutes, because if you get this concept, it could really help you be broken from a lot of the rat races, the different rat races that we find ourselves consumed by. It's just this idea that for me to have that, I've got to beat you to it. It's just not true, because there's no finite amount of the actual resource we're looking for. What is the resource that we're looking for? It's not that bowl, it's actually happiness, man. What Giani Kulwant Singh Ji is saying is that whatever you want in life, the real thing that you want in life, give it to other people and you'll find it in abundance in your own life. Now let me explain to you exactly how that translates to you guys. We think that we want a law degree, or that we want to become a geographer, or we want to become whatever job we think, right? We don't think of it of itself. We think we want that because it will make us happy. We think that we want to meet that person and get in that relationship, not because of that person, because of that person will make us feel happy. Yeah? We think that if we graduate and we tell our parents about our degrees, that it will be our success. It will, because of how we feel when they're happy, that they'll make us happy. So ultimately what we're looking for is happiness. That's ultimately what drives all of these things, but we get bogged down in the details of it. But the actual thing we're looking for is Anand. Yeah? Does that make sense? And there's enough Anand for everyone, man. And Giani Kulwant Singh Ji, they said the best way to have Anand in your life, the best way to have happiness is to dedicate yourself to others. People message me on Instagram all the time and they ask me questions about their problems, right? And during the course of it gets quite monotonous and repetitive, because everyone's got their own problems, but it eventually gets down to this thing. I go, look, are you doing anything for anyone else? They go, no, I'm consumed by this problem. I go, that's why you're not happy. And ultimately it's some guy giving someone a hard time, or financial problems, or I'm not getting anywhere in my sim, or there's different problems. But ultimately when we get down to it, and I've asked the 3-4 formality questions like how are you, where you're from, I get down to the gull. I go, look, what are you doing for anybody else? And they go, nothing. I go, that's why, man. Tony Robbins, the current speaker of the current day, is just an example I like to give, right? He says, if you have no money, you're completely destitute, you're so poor, yeah? And you're in a really bad condition, yeah? That's when you got to start giving, man. That's when you got to start. Like, what? How does that make sense in a Western understanding of philosophy? He's saying, because when you give, that's when you get back, that's when you receive back. I'll give you a really nice example, right? I was in Brighton. Who thought Brighton was going to come up today as we're at UCL, LSE, SOAS? Yeah, I was in Brighton and I was with my missus, and we were in a tea shop, yeah? She wants to buy tea. Don't ask me why. If we're in Brighton, there's a tea shop there, there's got these bottles of tea on the wall, expensive tea. And we're queuing up to buy this tea, and there's this Chinese lady in front. And she's got like this big bag of tea. It's like I don't know how much it costs. You know, quite a few quid worth of tea. And she keeps tapping her card on the thing, right? And it keeps getting cancelled. Just to give you a little funny example to prove this point, yeah? And she keeps tapping the card, it keeps failing. Anyway, people behind her starting getting a bit irate. They start shouting, like, oh, come on, we've got to go, you know? So I stepped forward, I go, look, what's the problem? She goes, my card's not working. I've got an American Express from China, wherever it was, it's not working, yeah? She didn't speak English. So I go, look, no problem. So I tapped my card, and I was like, don't worry, I'll get it. When you go back to China, just do something, pass it on, pay it forward, right? And she couldn't get it. She didn't understand this concept of, maybe it was a language barrier, maybe it was a cultural barrier, I don't know. But the idea of doing that seva, helping someone out, she's very embarrassed. You could see the world was closing in on her shoulders and she was struggling, right? I just tapped my card on there, and I was like, look, when you go home, you buy food for somebody. And then eventually she got it, and the penny dropped. She started crying her eyes out. She'd never seen this before. But we're so used to it in the house of the Guru, because everything's free, that we don't see the miracle of what it is, and then we lose the education. When we go to the house of the Guru, find me any temple in the world you can go to, and you've got a God-given right to be given food and protection. Like you can go to any godland in the world and the language there is a language of giving, right? I tapped the card on the thing, right, and paid for the food, for her tea bag. She starts crying her eyes out. The woman goes to me, she gives me this big pot of tea. She goes, "This is for you, sir." Yeah? The other guy at the end, he's drying the tea bag, goes, "Looks like we know who's won our monthly raffle draw," yeah? I ended up getting so much more back from that thing. I didn't plan to. I got this big thing of tea. It's like, I don't even drink. I was like, what am I supposed to do? This is our best tea. They're talking to me about the tea and how expensive. I was like, oh, I don't even care about tea, you know? But my point was, in that moment, you could see that exchange, and your lives can be an example of that as well. You'll find a direct correlation between how much success in the happiness sense that you have. There's a direct correlation between how much seva you've done for others, right? And how you are feeling on a day-to-day basis, man. And you can try it, you can be your own evidence. Most of what we've done today, we've put to the test. £10,000 test only a minute ago, right? And before that, a few other tests about whether you'd be somewhere else and how your conscious feelings have changed. Earlier on, I asked you guys, who feels that they've consciously shifted through reciting the mantra, and we all put our hands up, right? So I like to prove these things for us, for our own sort of confidence, right? But be your own proof, like, make a conscious decision today, what am I going to do to improve the quality of someone else's life? What can I do to improve someone else's condition? And do it for that person, but watch how your own condition changes, man. Giani Kulwant Singh Ji is saying that the best way to bring abundance of what you really want in your life is to give it to other people. I just think that's so wonderful, such a profound way of bringing happiness. You can steal happiness for a momentary sake, right? Normally it's anger and viciousness and something else, but you won't really last. But that other happiness is forever, innit? And if you haven't had that experience, I invite you, man, to do it. Message me, let me know how it goes. See how you can improve someone's condition. You can't necessarily save the world, right? But in that moment, as you help somebody whose card's not being received, or whoever it might be in your class that didn't get the notes from yesterday, or whoever's going through a hard time in your class that you could be a bit nicer to, who knows, man, whose world you might change. Whose world you might change through your actions, innit? And I think that's success, and that's where this becomes functional. What I want to do today is to think about this in this context, right? Of, what can I give, man? You've been sold a lie, you've been sold this, yeah, that you're not here to serve because you're students. Who's got this concept? Who's had this? When I get a job, I'll do this. It's always, I'll get, isn't it? Future-based, yeah? Is that fair? Yeah? It's always future-based. You are alive right now and you can change lives. So I'll give you an example of a student that's changed the world. Greta Thunberg. No one said to her, go and get a degree first. Yeah, Baba Ajit Singh Ji. You can't even put them. I shouldn't even. That's wrong to even put them in the same line. Yeah, Baba Ajit Singh Ji, Baba Jagraj Singh Ji. You know, we can change at any given moment. We can realise our potential if we change our mindset and don't work on these assumptions that just allow us to be unhappy. Don't forget, when you relay to yourself this message that that when I'm older I'll make people happy, all you're doing is delaying your own happiness, because we just realised that's how we bring it into our own lives, right? Why do you think so many students are walking around so miserable? Because it's all about themselves. Everybody's just in their own AirPods, their own beats, living their own tragedy, right? You see the correlation? But tomorrow we can wake up, we can change the day, man. Nobody influenced me outside in the world more than I was influenced when I was a university student. I don't think I did more good in terms of the choices I made when I left university than when you are around. This is a very romantic time for you guys, which is why I'm so excited to be with you and share this journey with you. This is your time to serve, man. Yeah, it's actually student-led movements that have actually historically changed the world. Yeah? And that's in our history as well. Sant Kartar Singh Ji's son, Bhai Amandeep Singh, you can read your own history, they set up student unions to challenge the corruption of the day in those days. Right? This is your time. But we're so far from it, our foundation is wrong. So I want to break this foundation that you're students, you can't do anything, you've got to be later. Historically, students have always changed the world, they've always led the world. I want to just leave you with this last thing, which is a reminder to you all. Yeah? Actually, there's two things I want to finish with you guys quickly. One is, we're going to just do a quick guided meditation, that this doesn't just become a fleeting moment, that it becomes a change of direction, a change of trajectory, that tomorrow won't be as the same as yesterday, that we make functional change, that we bring experience into our life, that the experience we felt today, which many of you have quantified in financial ways that perhaps we shouldn't have done, but just to illustrate the point of how valuable it is, that we bring those experiences into tomorrow and the day after, right? What I invite you to do, guys, to do is just close your eyes. Just get really comfortably. Yeah, you can feel your lower back up against the lovely expensive chairs that we've been afforded today. And just feel the weight of shoulders fall off, you know. It's like, oh, that was nice. We heard about, and we just quickly just run through some of these deep things we've been through today. We've heard about Maya. We've heard about money and its place in Maya, and that Maya is no longer going to have a hold over me. Didn't even know about Maya before today, some of us. But now we know we're going to watch out for it, and it will serve us. We won't serve it. We've heard the examples of those that have suffered, and in their previous lives, they've done such bad things, they've had to come back as a snake, and they're still serving those that they stole from. We've heard of those in this worldly sense that have achieved so much in this world, but without those poor souls, without the Guru's wisdom, they're successful in the world, but they're unhappy in their jivan because they didn't understand that Maya was not everything, that Maya had a place. We've used worldly examples of that, historical examples of that. We've redefined what success is, man. Success is, yes, it's a part of our success here today and at our universities and our degrees, but real success is being happy in the Guru's Charan, and we're feeling that Anand, Hana? We've gone on that journey together, we've redefined what it means to be successful. We've done a bit of Simran together, man. This is the most important thing we could ever do in the Sangat. And when asked to look within your own hearts and think about what that meant for you, to yourself, you gave that confirmation that my state has changed through doing Simran. You gave the confirmation to yourself, yo, this really vibes with me, man. And you experienced what it meant to be on the journey towards Anand. You experienced that progress. And now, what we're going to do is, we're going to just think about what we're going to do tomorrow. Tomorrow, Maharaj Kirpa Karan, this Anand doesn't leave us. That this search begins for us, for some of us, that we're going to actually bring this search for Anand into our lives. We spoke about how we're not even looking for Anand, we're looking to pass our exams, we're not even looking to make ourselves happy. But now the journey begins for some of us, for others it continues, that yo, I want Anand, man. And what we're going to do is we're going to think about something that we're going to do. It's really functional, really progressive, really exciting. It's something that we're going to do going forward. That will make tomorrow progressive, that tomorrow we can say, yo, actually I'm further, I'm on this way, I'm actually just starting my journey now, I'm humble in my steps, but we're going to go. And we're going to think about what that's going to be. And then we're all on our own journey, we've all got the same destination. For some of us, I'm going to just throw some stimuli out there, just to sort of nudge the brain. We're going to recite Japji Sahib in the morning. We're going to start listening to a little bit of Katha, similar to the sort of things we've shared today on the Basics of Sikhi channel, on the Sikh to Inspire channel, Giani Kulwant Singh Ji, whatever tickles your fancy. We're going to start listening to Katha and start taking those teachings so that we can become more aware, more warned, more educated about who we really are inside, man. We can start feeling that Anand. We're going to make a conscious effort to seek out that Anand, man, in the Guru's Charan. What is it that the Guru needs from me? What is it that I can give to my Guru that will bring me closer to my Guru, that will get me my Guru's khushi, that will get me my Guru's happiness? We're going to wake up in the earlier hours, man, and we're going to sit down and we're going to do Simran. Wow, can you imagine what that will be like tomorrow morning? We wake up, we sit down, and for just a few minutes, maybe just 11 minutes, we just sit down in the company of our good selves and we just say, this is for you, Maharaj, this is for my this is for my Atma, be Maharaj, connect me, don't let me get pulled this way and that, be Maharaj, let me be with you. We're going to do Simran on the Guru Mantra of Guru Nanak. We're going to listen to Kirtan, we're going to go to the Guru Card, we're going to come to the Sangat. What is it, man? When I hear it in the Sangat, it just goes differently. As you're in the company of the Sangat right now, you're your own testament. And just really think about that as you're doing it, as you're feeling it. Think about how you're going to feel when you adopt this change in your life. What void it will fill that you didn't even know was there, perhaps. And how things are going to change. And be excited, and if you want to, if you feel comfortable to, everyone's got their eyes closed anyway. This is your own journey. Just put a smile on your face as you connect with that feeling of what it would be like, as you're excited about it, man. Why wouldn't you be, man? There's so many things we've been excited about that have let us down. Why wouldn't we be excited about that unlimited source of Anand that Guru Amar Das Ji says to us we get from the Guru? Wow. There's every opportunity here to feel that Anand. What we're going to do in this last and final few moments together, with our eyes closed, I'm going to just tell you something profound. And then we're going to recite the Guru Mantra together 5 times. So just get yourself ready for that journey. We're going to go on for the 3rd and final time today. This Guru Mantra that we're going to recite is going to make that experience of doing this, you're going to bond that experience to this, that Maharaj, please attach me to your charan, attach me that I can do this. Without your blessings, nothing can be achieved. But with your blessings, nothing can stop me. And we're going to recite the Guru's Mantra 5 times. Guru Nanak Dev Ji would say to us that I'm only alive when I'm saying this mantra. When I'm not saying this mantra, I'm dead. Meaning, let's have it on our lips all the time. What is this mantra? The mantra is Vaheguru. As we go full circles, we finish up now, we started. The mantra is Vaheguru, meaning the destroyer of darkness and the bringer of light. The destroyer of pain and fear and the bringer of happiness and Anand. Everybody under your breath say Anand. Everybody together as one. Vaheguru. 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 Let's start living, man. Let's start feeling a little bit of Anand. In the very least, let's start looking for it. Let's start chasing it. Let's have it as part of the questions in our life. Is this going to serve me in my Sikhi? If that question's on the agenda, it will serve you, man. It will make you give the thought to the right choices. Let's start living. I only wish that you have happiness. That's that only perfect. As a servant in the Guru's Khalsa, in the Guru's army, as a lowly servant in the Guru's army, all that we want is to have Anand, man. And I think it's, if we serve the Guru, we wake up, do our part, do seva, act with good intentions, and wish well for the whole of creation, we're on our way, man. It ain't complicated. We just got to look for it, and we're not looking for it as we are our own witnesses, huh? So let's start living, let's start thinking about how we can serve this creation and in turn feel a little bit of Anand, perhaps where it might otherwise be missing in our lives. You are the Sangat of the Guru, so if I've made any mistakes, I ask for your forgiveness and your blessings. Lekhe kathena shutiye khin khin pulanhar bakshanhar bakshle nanak pari utar. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.
If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share and subscribe. Please donate and help spread Guruji's message. Link is in the description below. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.